Knock, knock.
Who's there?
About
who?
About time you finished this door.
That was adorable.
Hi, YouTube family!
My name is Alicia English.
And I'm Philip English.
Welcome to part 2 of our Trash to Treasure camper project.
Ooh, part 1 is looking so good.
If you missed part 1, head over to yesterday's video because we are going to finish up the project today and get it brought into the camper so you can see exactly what my vision was. Let's go.
All right.
Welcome back. We're in the studio working on our door project because the weather's been like all 4 seasons in the last 48 hours. So we think we'll stay warm and work in the studio today, but I really want to get this door finished. And I'm on the fun part now where I get to start adding color and gluing down the first pieces. And then I can work my way off of these shapes. And so a lot of you guessed it, of course, I'm going to use some of my favorite green color. And I'm also going to use some distressed white and some rust color because I really want to tie in a little bit of that green from the kitchen space. And then I'm also using that rust color kind of throughout in my bohemian style. So let's get painting. Okay, I'm not gonna get my shapes confused. So these little pieces are gonna be rust, and my main center arrow is going to be green. And so what I need to do, because I wanna cut these pieces to make sure that they're perfectly cut and lined up with this edge piece, is I need to get these center pieces painted and glued on first. That way I can work off and know that all my pieces are cut properly. And so I'm using my favorite green Heritage Park, and I'm going to cut these slats. And I know it seems silly that I'm using such a tiny brush, but guess what? I shipped all my Alicia English brushes to all of you, our YouTube family, which means I am on a brush shortage. Using what I got. Of all people to be shortage of brushes, seriously. I'm going to be distressing all of these pieces. So I don't really care so much if I get perfect coverage, but I really want to be able to run all of the sand pieces over all of these in the end. And so it doesn't really matter if it's perfect, but I love that this color is going to come through a little bit when I distress these colorful sections. It's gonna add a little bit of dimension to it.
Having trouble with the glue, love.
Well, it always glues itself shut, so I'm thinking that I might be better off just to put some in a container and use a brush, because otherwise I'm gonna be squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. So I'm following my center line here to make sure that everything is totally lined up. That way, my arrow, when the door is actually straight up and down, is actually going to look like it's straight up and down and not, you know, wonky one way or the other. And this is the most important step, is this center X that you work on. So I'm gonna get that in place, and then everything else should line up pretty good after that. I'm using glue on these center pieces rather than using the brad nail, because if I brad nail through my center here, I'm gonna hit the mirror that I put on the back. So I'll be able to do a little bit of brad nailing on the outer edges once I get some of those pieces in, but this center part has to be glued. And I'm not looking for it to be like super, super tight together or worrying about clamping anything. I know that this is gonna just line up the way that I want it to, and I'm pretty happy with the fact that it's gonna look just a little bit rustic. I'm not looking for the rustic look, but that like reclaimed wood look, even though it's new 1/4" plywood that we got scraps from doing other parts of the camper.
Now we have our green and our rust patterns down. They're starting to look so good. We're gonna start by doing these longer white strips and I think a thinner white strip, right?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of work a little bit and play with the textures that I can create on the wood using the paint and the wood combination and some sandpaper, and make this look like different colors even though it's not really going to necessarily be different colors of white, and kind of make these triangular shapes this way. We're gonna work this way first and then we can fill out our ends.
All right.
Kind of fun. I have some color added to this wood quilt door and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks so good. I love that I have some of the green coming through from the kitchen, the rust, which I'm carrying throughout, and then this white. And so what I'm going to do now is I need to fill in all of my other areas. And I think I'm basically sticking with mainly white. I'm gonna kind of play around with it while I go. So I've started to cut some of my next pieces to work my way down. So it's really simple because although it takes a little bit of time, I'm working with all 45-degree angles. You can my pieces in and then go from there to be able to paint them whatever color I decide I want them. So I'm going to work sort of in a symmetrical pattern and do whatever I do on this side to this side so that at the end it's actually exactly the same. So it's kind of easy when you work with a pattern that's basically just mirrored in a symmetrical way. I'm not sure how I got so lucky, but cutting these strips into 1-inch slices meant that when I actually put my rows on, I am exactly perfect in the rectangle on the width-wise of the door. I don't know how I lucked out. So I'm actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm exactly 18 inches across. I should have probably pre-measured that to make sure that this wasn't gonna be a fail and uneven, but it actually worked out perfectly. So all of my pieces are exactly on that raised top rectangle on the top of the door, and it actually is like perfect. I can't even believe I lucked out that it was that good. So now I have all of my slats done, and I have this stain color, which I know doesn't actually match the flooring how I want it. And so I'm now going and starting to paint some of these fans the color that I want. I thought that I wanted all of this stuff that looks like the natural wood to actually be all white, and I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to do all of the slats that attach to this rust color first. See exactly where that white part goes, and then I know I'm gonna have a little bit of a section on the side here, and I may or may not add color to that. I haven't quite decided, so I wanna see exactly what it looks like with these white strips first, and then I'll be able to kind of see if I wanna go from there. Now I have all of my slats painted, and now it's time for me to be able to put my wood glue on to adhere these to the actual door. And then I'm going to use just 1-inch long brad nails in my brad nailer to be able to do a little bit around the exterior part of the door where the mirror isn't, just to give it some extra security. And I think overall, once I get it all flattened out, glued on, and you've done the brad nails, I'll be able to then run my palm sander over the areas that I want to just stress this door. My plan was not to glue myself to the door. I decided, since I have a little bit of leftover flooring glue, I'm going to use it to be able to apply these on, since I am running a little bit low on my actual wood glue. And so I think that even though I'll have to let this sit overnight, I think it's gonna be pretty strong once I get this all on here. Using my brad nailer, I'm going to go around the outside perimeter of this wood quilt to give it some extra security. I need to leave this overnight so it can dry a lot more thoroughly, but I can't wait to just stand it up in the camper and see what it's going to look like. I also need to be able to paint the actual outside part of the door white and the back and do a whole bunch more work on this, but I think that the actual overall design looks really good. I'm going to leave some really heavy flat wood over top of it, laying it flat overnight just to let it cure completely and harden so that I can get to the rest of this tomorrow. But let's go see what it looks like inside the camper. We're definitely running out of daylight today to show you, but you can tell with the coral and the green accents that we have in here, now our new kitchen counter, our gorgeous new flooring, and now we're getting the works done for this gorgeous wood quilt that's gonna be on this door. I'm so thrilled with how everything is coming together. As you can see, I have a lot more white painting ahead of me, but I think my overall vision of this camper so far is really coming together. I love playing with scrap wood.
That trash really got turned into treasure this time. I'm loving that door.
It looks so good. I can't wait to get the rest of it done and to be able to show our YouTube family when the sun comes back out, hopefully tomorrow. We had 2 days of crazy bad weather, got caught up on homeschooling and just some to-do list family stuff we had to get done, and then couldn't wait to get back to tackle the rest of this door today. So I'm really thrilled with how much we got accomplished on it. A project like this takes a long time, but a lot of, extra love put into something and some time can really turn a scrap pile of wood into something amazing that we'll now have as a feature in the camper. So I'm pretty excited about it. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the wood quilt, if you think it goes with everything that we're doing in the camper, and let me know what you're most excited to see next for our camper renovation, because we have a lot more to do on this camper.
I know what I'm most excited for.
What?
I'm most excited for the upholstery next. I can't wait to see what the couch is gonna look, because I need my Think couch back.
We need our Think couch back. Yeah. So I think we're going to be tackling the upholstery on that, what is it called again?
Jackknife?
Jackknife couch. Why can't I keep remembering the name? So yes, I have the fabric already here at the house for us to be able to do some upholstery coming up, hopefully within the next week. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And if you're not already part of our YouTube family, What are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out when we post new videos. We're trying to post every single day. So if you're bored and you're looking for something to do, come follow us on our journey renovating our camper.
Join our YouTube family.
We have a whole playlist of these videos. If you've missed, we are on episode 29. So you've missed out on a lot if this is your first video you're seeing of our series. So you can catch that up by clicking the playlist on our main page. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you guys. And we will see you on tomorrow's video.
Bye.
Bye.